Let me ask you a question. What would your life look like if you could save 70% of your income starting today without feeling like you're giving up everything you enjoy? Most people think saving aggressively means cutting out all your fun, living off ramen noodles, and refusing to spend money on anything that brings you joy. But that's not true. In fact, the secret to saving this much is not depriving yourself. It's rethinking the way you live, spend, and invest your money. Here's the thing: almost everyone is trapped in the paycheck to paycheck mindset. And you get your paycheck, pay bills, buy a few things you don't really need, and suddenly it's gone. You feel broke, even though you're earning a decent income. The truth is, financial freedom is not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and how smartly you use it. When I first started my financial journey, I was overwhelmed by the idea of saving aggressively. Saving 50%, 60%, or even 70% of your income sounds impossible, right? But it's not, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Imagine having the ability to retire early, invest in opportunities that excite you, investment, and live life on your terms, all because you mastered the art of saving without feeling deprived. The key lies in understanding a few critical principles that high savers live by: automation, lifestyle design, smart spending, and making money work for you. Most people focus on cutting costs in ways that make life miserable. I'm talking about saving money strategically so that your lifestyle stays enjoyable. Investment, your stress stays low, and your financial future stays secure. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down 4 powerful strategies that will allow you to save 70% of your income without feeling like your life is on hold. These strategies aren't about gimmicks or extreme frugality. They're about mindset shifts, smart financial decisions, and leveraging your resources effectively. By the end of this speech, investment, you'll know how to reallocate your spending so that saving doesn't feel like a punishment. You'll understand how to structure your finances so that saving becomes effortless, even automatic. And most importantly, you'll see how it's possible to live a fulfilling, enjoyable life while putting away the majority of your income for the future you've always wanted. So if you're ready to take control of your finances and discover the method behind saving 70% of your income, let's dive in. Because saving aggressively isn't just for the wealthy. It's for anyone who's serious about building real wealth and freedom in their life. Saving 70% of your income may sound impossible at first, but the truth is, once you understand the power of automation, it becomes surprisingly simple and almost effortless. The first step in building this habit is realizing that human nature is the enemy of consistent saving. Investment. We are wired to spend what we see in our accounts, even if it's only a little bit here and there. That 10 coffee, that 20 heli impulse purchase, those small expenses may seem insignificant in isolation, but over time, they add up and they can prevent you from hitting the kind of savings rate that can change your life. The solution is to remove human decision making from the equation entirely, and the best way to do that is automation. Automation begins with treating your savings as a mandatory expense. Think of it the same way you treat your rent, mortgage, investment, or utility bill, something that must go out the door before you touch any of the remaining money. This requires a shift in mindset from "I'll save what's left over" to "I pay myself first." By prioritizing your future self, you ensure that saving becomes non-negotiable. The easiest method is to set up an automatic transfer on the day you get paid. For instance, if you receive your salary on the first of the month, investment. Schedule an automatic transfer of 70% of your income to a dedicated savings or investment account immediately. This way, the money is never in your checking account long enough to tempt spending, and it starts working for you right away. Next, consider splitting your savings into multiple accounts with specific purposes. For example, one account can be for emergency funds, another for long-term investments, and another for short-term goals. By compartmentalizing your savings, you give each dollar a purpose, which psychologically reinforces the habit. When money is organized this way, you are less likely to dip into funds for unplanned purchases, and you gain a sense of control and clarity over your finances. Automation ensures that every paycheck contributes systematically to each goal without any additional thought. Another crucial aspect of automating your savings is leveraging technology. There are numerous apps and financial tools that can track your spending, monitor your saving habits, and even round up your purchases to the nearest dollar, depositing the difference into a savings account. These small, Consistent actions accumulate surprisingly fast, and the automation removes the friction that typically causes people to procrastinate. The key is consistency. Even if the amount saved seems small initially, automating your contributions ensures that it grows over time and the habit becomes second nature. Beyond the technical side, automation also protects your savings from emotional spending. Money is deeply tied to our emotions, and moments of stress, excitement, or social pressure can easily lead to impulsive decisions that derail your financial goals. When you automate your savings, the money is already allocated before you even have the chance to make an impulsive choice. This preemptive approach builds discipline without relying on willpower. Which is often unreliable in high stress or tempting situations. Finally, automating your savings allows you to focus your energy on other aspects of financial growth. Once the habit is in place, you don't have to micromanage every dollar. You can concentrate on increasing your income, researching smarter investment opportunities, and refining your lifestyle in ways that complement your financial goals. This is where the compounding effect truly begins to work, not just in your investments, but in your behavior. The consistent habit of saving automatically cultivates financial discipline and transforms your approach to money. Ultimately, automating your savings is about building a system that removes obstacles and makes the process effortless. It's not about self-denial or extreme discipline, and it's about creating an environment where saving happens naturally, reliably, and consistently. By paying yourself first, using multiple dedicated accounts, leveraging technology, and removing the emotional component from spending, you set the foundation for saving 70% of your income without ever feeling the pinch. Over time, this habit alone can generate significant wealth, secure your financial future, and provide the freedom to live life on your terms. ChatGPT said, when it comes to saving 70% of your income, the biggest challenge for most people is not earning enough or resisting temptation. It's the way we structure our lifestyle. Many assume that saving aggressively means giving up the things that make life enjoyable, living in constant deprivation, and saying no to every small pleasure. But the truth is, saving at this level without feeling broke is entirely possible if you redesign your lifestyle strategically. The key is learning to focus on value-driven spending rather than mindless consumption. Value-driven spending starts with understanding what actually brings you joy and fulfillment. Many people spend on habits, products, or experiences that don't truly enrich their lives. They spend because it's convenient, because others are doing it, or because it temporarily alleviates boredom or stress. Identifying what genuinely matters allows you to cut expenses that don't provide real satisfaction. For example, you might realize that fancy coffee every day or constant dining out doesn't make you happier in the long run. Instead, you could allocate a small portion of your income to experiences or hobbies that truly enhance your life. This approach makes saving feel less like deprivation and more like prioritization. You're intentionally choosing where your money goes. Another major step in lifestyle redesign is optimizing recurring expenses. Housing, transportation, subscriptions, and utilities are often the largest drains on income, and reducing them can free up substantial cash flow without impacting your happiness. Downsizing your living space, moving to a more affordable area, or even negotiating rent can drastically reduce monthly costs. Similarly, evaluating transportation expenses, like owning a car with high payments versus using public transport or a more economical vehicle, can save hundreds, even thousands per month. Subscriptions and memberships are easy to overlook, but can quietly add up. By canceling underused services or finding more affordable alternatives, you maintain the benefits you value while significantly lowering costs. Lifestyle redesign isn't just about cutting costs. It's about embracing habits that make frugality feel rewarding. Many high savers find joy in simple, cost-effective routines, cooking at home instead of eating out, biking instead of driving, or exploring free or low-cost hobbies. These habits often lead to better health, more free time, and increased personal satisfaction, proving that cutting expenses doesn't have to equal a dull life. In fact, this deliberate approach to spending often enhances life quality by eliminating the clutter and excess that distract from meaningful experiences. It's also important to address the social pressures that can make saving difficult. Many people feel compelled to keep up with friends, coworkers, or social media trends. This keeping up mentality can sabotage even the best intentioned budget. Redesigning your lifestyle means consciously deciding not to chase someone else's definition of success. Focus on what aligns with your financial goals and personal happiness. Over time, the freedom that comes from detaching from external expectations becomes highly rewarding. You no longer feel the need to spend to prove something. Your money works for your life, not someone else's approval. Redesigning your lifestyle strategically also involves planning for flexibility. Saving 70% of your income doesn't mean you can never enjoy luxuries or spontaneous experiences. Instead, it's about creating a system where indulgences are deliberate, budgeted, and meaningful. By setting aside a small portion of your income for fun and enjoyment, you satisfy cravings without derailing your overall savings. This balance prevents burnout and makes the process sustainable long term. Ultimately, saving aggressively while maintaining happiness is about intentional living. It's about examining your habits, understanding what truly adds value to your life, and making conscious choices that align spending with priorities. When you redesign your lifestyle around your goals rather than societal pressures or impulse, you can save substantial portions of your income without feeling deprived. This method turns saving from a painful task into a rewarding habit, allowing you to live fully today while building a secure, prosperous future. One of the most overlooked aspects of saving aggressively is the subtle, often invisible expenses that quietly drain your income. These are the costs that don't scream for attention, but over time, they accumulate into a significant barrier to hitting that 70% savings target. Unlike obvious expenses like rent or groceries, invisible expenses are sneaky, recurring, and often tied to habits or systems we barely notice. Identifying and eliminating them is one of the most powerful strategies for saving aggressively without feeling deprived. Start by auditing your recurring payments. Many people sign up for subscriptions, streaming services, software, apps, gym memberships, and then forget about them. Each one may seem small, but when combined, they can total hundreds of dollars per month. Take the time to go through your bank statements and identify any payments that are no longer used or needed. Cancel what's unnecessary and consider cheaper alternatives for services you truly value. For example, if you're paying for multiple streaming platforms, you might rotate subscriptions month to month instead of keeping all of them active simultaneously. This allows you to enjoy entertainment without overspending. Bank fees and financial charges are another hidden cost that silently erode your savings. Overdraft fees, maintenance charges, and unnecessary account upgrades add up quickly. By switching to no fee accounts, investment, setting up low or no balance minimums, and monitoring your transactions, you can stop these small leaks before they become a problem. These measures might feel minor, but collectively, they create a healthier financial baseline, freeing up money that can be directly funneled into savings or investments. Impulse spending is another invisible expense that can sabotage your goals. It often occurs in small, everyday purchases that feel inconsequential at the moment. A coffee on the way to work, a snack, or a quick Amazon buy. Over time, these purchases add up and can account for a surprising percentage of your income. Combating impulse spending requires intentionality. One effective tactic is the 24-hour rule. Before making any unplanned purchase, wait at least 24 hours. Often, the desire fades, investment, and you realize the expense wasn't necessary. Another method is to only carry the exact cash or debit funds you need for planned spending, leaving extra money inaccessible to impulse decisions. Lifestyle creep is another subtle yet powerful drain. As income increases, many people unconsciously expand their spending in parallel, upgrading their lifestyle in ways that cancel out the benefits of raises or bonuses. This could mean buying a more expensive car, moving to a pricier apartment, or upgrading daily habits that were once modest. To counteract lifestyle creep, consciously set savings targets tied to any income increase. Investment. For instance, commit a percentage of every raise or bonus directly to savings before adjusting your lifestyle. This approach prevents financial gains from being offset by unnecessary expenses. It's also important to address psychological spending habits that quietly undermine your financial goals. Social pressures, advertising, and even boredom can trigger purchases you wouldn't normally make. By creating a system that preemptively accounts for these triggers, you can protect your savings. For instance, budgeting a small discretionary fund allows you to enjoy minor indulgences without guilt, investment, while keeping the majority of your income strictly allocated to savings or investments. This prevents emotional spending from derailing your plan. Finally, replacing high cost habits with cost-effective alternatives can have a profound impact. Consider switching from expensive cable packages to streaming, cooking at home instead of dining out, or taking public transportation instead of driving. These changes don't require sacrificing quality of life. They simply redirect your spending in a smarter, more efficient way. By systematically identifying and eliminating invisible expenses, you free up more money than many people realize, making it possible to save aggressively without feeling deprived. Ultimately, investment. Cutting invisible expenses is about awareness and intentional action. Most people are unaware of where their money leaks away because these expenses are small, recurring, and easy to overlook. By auditing your spending and eliminating unnecessary subscriptions, curbing impulse purchases, avoiding lifestyle creep, and adopting cost-effective alternatives, you create a financial environment where saving 70% of your income becomes achievable. Investment. This isn't about deprivation. It's about strategic spending and ensuring every dollar serves a purpose. Investment. Allowing you to live fully today while building long-term wealth and security. Once you've mastered the art of saving aggressively and cutting unnecessary expenses, the next step is making your money work for you. Saving 70% of your income is powerful, but letting it sit idle in a checking or basic savings account means you're leaving growth on the table. Investment. The real magic happens when you strategically invest those savings so they compound over time, accelerating your journey toward financial freedom and wealth. The key is to focus on smart, disciplined investing rather than chasing risky or trendy opportunities. First, understand that investing is not about timing the market or finding the next big thing. It's about consistency, patience, and letting compounding work its magic. When you save a large portion of your income, you now have capital that can grow significantly if allocated wisely. Investment. The most effective approach for long-term wealth creation is to use proven low-cost investment vehicles, such as index funds or diversified ETFs. These investments track the broader market, provide exposure to hundreds of companies, and historically deliver steady returns over the long term. By investing consistently, even during market fluctuations, you take advantage of dollar cost averaging, good investment, which reduces risk while building wealth steadily. Another strategy is to reinvest all returns instead of withdrawing them. Dividends, interest, and capital gains can all be redirected back into your investment portfolio, creating a compounding effect that grows exponentially over time. For example, if you invest $100,000 monthly into a diversified portfolio that returns 8% annually, investing all gains could turn that disciplined habit into hundreds of thousands or even millions over several decades. The key is to treat investing as a long-term commitment rather than a short-term gamble. Investment. It's also essential to diversify your investments to manage risk effectively. While index funds are a cornerstone for most savers, adding complementary investments like real estate, bonds, or dividend-paying stocks can provide balance and stability. Diversification ensures that your portfolio isn't overly dependent on a single sector or asset class, protecting your wealth against unexpected market downturns. The goal is not to chase maximum returns at all costs, but to create a system that grows reliably and sustainably. Automation plays a critical role in investing, just as it does in saving. Setting up automatic contributions to your investment accounts ensures consistency, even when life gets busy or tempting distractions arise. By automating your investments, you remove the reliance on discipline alone, which can falter under stress or during emotional market swings. This habit creates a frictionless path to long-term growth, where money is constantly being put to work without extra effort on your part. It's also important to understand the psychological aspect of investing. Many people make poor decisions because they panic during market volatility or chase trends that promise quick gains. By focusing on long-term growth and automating your investment strategy, you remove emotion from the equation. You'll no longer feel compelled to react to every market headline or social media tip. Instead, your portfolio steadily grows while you focus on other aspects of your financial life and personal growth. Additionally, consider using investments to align with your broader financial goals. For instance, allocating funds to retirement accounts, tax-advantaged investment vehicles, or long-term growth funds ensures that your wealth grows efficiently. Tax efficiency matters because minimizing unnecessary taxes allows more of your money to stay invested and compound over time. Smart allocation and tax planning amplify the power of your savings, further accelerating progress toward financial freedom. Finally, the combination of aggressive saving and disciplined investing creates a feedback loop of wealth growth. Saving 70% of your income gives you the capital, Cutting unnecessary expenses frees up resources, and investing ensures that money grows faster than inflation. Over time, this strategy doesn't just provide security, it creates true financial freedom. Investment, giving you the ability to retire early, pursue passions, or take calculated risks without fear. By making your money work for you through smart, consistent, and automated investing, you transform your disciplined savings into a powerful wealth building engine. This step turns the abstract goal of saving 70% of your income into tangible results, ensuring that the money you work so hard to save grows exponentially. The combination of high savings, intentional spending, investment, and intelligent investing is the ultimate blueprint for building long-term wealth without ever feeling deprived in the process.